I bet it doesn't come as a surprise when I say that Hollywood is more dangerous than it seems. There are tons of shady businesses behind all the fame and the glamour, and sometimes young artists who want to make it big in the industry have to offer so much more just to kickstart their careers. This is where the controversial yachting comes into the picture.
Nobody is claiming this is fact, we're just talking. Now the can girl, yacht girl rumor thing is nuts, but look at the timing.
This model/celebrity offspring agreed to go yachting and had a massive shopping spree with an advance fee paid for.
And while the term is straightforward, it's become one of the most controversial schemes in Hollywood right now. Disguising exploitation and big people in the industry use yachting to take advantage of young talents in exchange for a promise of a bright future in Tinseltown. Today, we'll go deeper into the murky underbelly of yachting, and you'll be surprised by the number of A-list celebs who had to sell their souls to make their dreams a reality. Starting with the basics, yachting is one of the entertainment industry's most open secrets. And when I say open secret, I mean it, because almost everyone knows this happens, and yet they turn a blind eye and let greedy people spread their reach to clueless people who just want to make a mark in the industry. Because of this, reports revealed that almost anyone would be down to get involved, with A-list celebrities such as models, actresses, and aristocracy said to have participated in yachting during their careers. If you're unfamiliar with the phrase, yachting refers to the practice of getting paid to spend time and be photographed with affluent clients, usually on mega yachts. It's seen as a popular formula for it girls and emerging stars to increase their visibility, but it conceals a dark underbelly of sexual exploitation, coercion, and trafficking. So whenever you see your favorite celeb sharing stunning photos on a luxurious yacht, take a moment and think, because there's so much happening behind that photo. Recently, there have been a lot of people spilling the tea about these luxurious yacht trips. According to the podcast I Know I Sound Crazy, presented by Ashlyn Galloway, aspiring actresses and models, as well as those already in the profession looking to boost their reputations, frequently go sailing to make connections with prominent people. While sailing, they have access to privileged environments and social renown thanks to the affluent or famous men they accompany. However, the practice isn't as glamorous as it may appear. The phrase yachting acquired media prominence in 2013 when The Hollywood Reporter published an examination into the culture during the Cannes Film Festival, saying that models and even some Hollywood actors swarmed the hotels and yacht parties during the event. And if you go back, there are big names during that event. So it'll make one wonder who among these celebs became a victim or even willingly joined these yacht parties. While these stories are horrible enough, wait until you hear how many people got arrested because of this. According to Ellie Nahas, who owned a modeling agency in Beirut before being jailed on allegations of running a ring in 2007, you'd definitely recognize more than a few names from Hollywood. These are actresses that made poor professional decisions and dropped off the radar. He then adds, these are actresses who made bad career choices and fell off the radar. They tell themselves what they're doing at Cannes is okay, that they're just on dates with rich men, when the reality is they're doing what prostitutes do. And the bottom line is, they like the money. Nahas was eventually found guilty of delivering over 50 prostitutes of various nationalities to wealthy Middle Eastern businessmen at the festival. Just by looking at the numbers, you know it's a very serious problem. But while it is considered an open secret in the industry, it's still very hard to talk about it. Yes, almost everyone knows that this shady kind of business is happening, but when it comes to Hollywood, a lot of people are aware that keeping it low-key and going with the flow is better than going against big names in the industry. Maybe this is the reason why yachting is still a big problem in Tinseltown, and no one knows if there's even an end to this messy situation. Industry experts also shared their 2 cents about the matter and confirmed that this had been going on for years now. Take Cannes, for example. One expert explained that there are times people get invited and they don't really know how and why, but they're there for a reason. Most of the time, these random celebs get the invite not just to walk the red carpet with their big and long gowns. A lot of them are there to entertain wealthy businessmen after the party once they get on the yacht. And guess what? That's when the real party starts. Other experts claim to have witnessed the purposeful elevation of persons, notably women in the industry. They also explain how these celebrities could fund one luxurious travel after the other, saying, "You often see someone with 1 million followers who's always flying and being photographed on a private plane. And you wonder, how are they doing that? Where are they going, and with whom?" Model Emily Ratajkowski discussed the practice in her 2021 book, My Body, where she described being paid $25,000 at the outset of her career to attend the Super Bowl with notorious Malaysian financier Joe Low, who just liked to have famous men and women around. In an interview with the Sunday Times, Ratajkowski said, "I was on the clock and was unaware about what was expected of her during the date." She told the paper that she had been unsure of why she was there, how long she had to stay, and who her agent had to check with at the end of the night to find out whether she could leave. Ratajkowski also says how beginning at the age of 19, she was asked to restaurants by a club promoter whose job it appears was to bring attractive ladies together for high-profile events. But she knew immediately it was not something she liked doing, explaining that if she was given the chance, she'd rather not spend her time in a place where people would take advantage of her just because they thought they were allowed to. She later realized that these kinds of things don't only happen in clubs. Nasty things like these would also unfold in an expensive, all-expense-paid trip abroad or just somewhere fancy people would go. On one occasion, she describes being taken on an all-expense-paid luxury trip to the Coachella Festival with 14 other young models. And you wouldn't believe what happened. At one point, she recalled talking to a man who disclosed that one of the VIPs with him was actually a prince, and that his mother was very famous. She didn't name drop, but during the conversation, the man tried to get her to do some very crazy stuff with a VIP, and believe it or not, there were models there who were pretty willing to take the job. People in the industry who have witnessed all of these emphasize the gray zone and power imbalances associated with yachting, saying that it's all smoke and mirrors and that the practice will always remain secret. Now that that's out of the way, I bet most of you are curious who are the A-list celebs who are rumored to have participated in these controversial events. Well, you'll be surprised to hear their names, because most of us will agree that it's almost impossible to picture these dazzling celebrities doing something so controversial, right? But that doesn't mean it's impossible, because in Hollywood, anything's possible, even the horrible stuff. Before we proceed though, remember to take this info with a grain of salt. Going back, there are so many celebs that have been rumored participating in the activity, but to be more particular, there are a lot of stories involving Ariana Grande, Hailey Baldwin, Selena Gomez, and Bella Hadid. The list goes on from here. Word on the street also mentions Miley Cyrus and Demi Lovato were substantially involved, or if it happened several times, and it turns out they were involved in more dark things through the Disney enterprise. Of course, we can't forget about the Kar-Jenner family, who we often see posing in these lavish yachts like it's the most normal thing to do. This is the reason why a lot of fans believe that, one way or another, they're pretty much involved in this kind of activity. But it was typically because they wanted to, not because they had to, since they have their empires anyway, so it's quite unlikely for someone to think they can pay the Kar-Jenner sisters to entertain them. Anyway, most of these will remain rumors until proven true. But how about you? Let us know in the comments below. Also, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more.